All right, welcome back to another edition of Knicks Morning Coffee. This is episode 61. I'm Mr. King, and then y'all know my partner, Joe Cool. Before we get started, I want everybody to please remember to like, comment, subscribe. And right now, please like. We need the likes. All right, so, just to wrap it up, Summer League to me, our Summer League team was a success.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who won. I know we were picked to win the Summer League, but I didn't care about that. So I don't even know who won the Summer League. But I know that the way we came out and played, the Summer League, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, the purpose was Obi and Quickly, regained their college touch, even though Quickly had a good year for us. Obi found his game, and then he found where he can be useful in the regular season for us. So that was a plus. And then our main draft picks, and particularly Quentin Grimes and Miles McBride, that wasn't a surprise, probably to some people, but yeah, surprise to most. But he had an excellent Summer League. So we was good there. We did a whole lot. I don't think anybody really expected that from Jericho Sims.
Yeah.
I know whoever scouted him and got the Knicks to take him, kudos to them, because he's a find. I don't even know if he's a steal, because the way he played, he already had to be playing that way. You don't do that type of stuff, and you don't already play that way. And then we didn't get to see a whole lot of Amir Sims, but we are going to keep him around for a while. And to me, he didn't get to show his versatile skills with the ball. It would have been nice to see, but you can't get it all.
Yeah.
When the focus really was to be on Obi and IQ. And then the other dude, is it Selden? He started most of the games at small forward.
I ain't really.
But to me, he was a glue piece. See, they're not going to keep him because he constantly he plays overseas.
Yeah.
So, I guess he plays very well overseas. They say he makes his money. But he was the type of small forward, too, that we always kind of wish we had. A guy that can just get in there and do what they do. So that's just a surprise that we had those type of players come out and do those type of things. But that kid, though, he to me, he should have been invited, back to the regular roster. That Selden kid, if that's his name. But he probably won't, because there's just too many people. But overall, the Knicks had an excellent Summer League. So nobody can take that away from them. We moved the ball. We shared the ball. We got up and down. We figured out the fast break, which hopefully that carries over into the regular season. So kudos to them for that. So we definitely did that right. I saw an article that said, can Randle and Toppin coexist in lineups together? So I didn't even bother to read it, because my answer to that is that, yeah, they can coexist. Because when we want to go small, then we can put Randle back at the 5. And then when we want to go big, we can put Obi at the 3. Because now, if this is the type of shooting display Obi's going to have, the way he did it in Summer League, and it's not so much that he actually was making them, it's the way he was catch and shoot. He was doing it like a small forward.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing it like a stretch forward. So in that situation, in small spells, yeah, you can run that, because we don't get that much from our center position in terms of scoring. So we actually can run, having them coexist. It didn't really work out that much last year because Obi just couldn't find his way.
Yeah, they're making it seem like Obi is like the type of player that probably just hold the ball and, and do that type of stuff. But that was more so Randle that would get the ball, mellow-ass, get the ball in the post, make his move, don't gotta kick it back out. He'll do pretty good at kicking it out sometimes with that ball movement.
Yeah.
They making it seem like Obi was just gonna be out there just doing what he wanted to do. Nah, he was getting the ball in transition, running the floor, running the play, getting in the open spots. Yeah, they can coexist. It's not like he was demanding the ball. Now, if he play any better than he gonna play in the Summer League, no, that's just an issue for Randle with playing time. That's all that. That's all that is. But I doubt that's going to be the case right at this moment.
Nah, Tibbs wouldn't do that right away anyway. But again, the worst thing that happened to Randle is
get hurt.
To get hurt and let Obi come out there and do what he's doing. But again, even it's not just about what Obi is doing. The other teams have to respect what Obi is doing to double team him, because he was getting the ball, he either shooting it right away or moving it right away. So it wasn't like Randle holds it. So Randle holds it where double team can be set up. Obi's moving it too fast. The best you can do with Obi is deny him the ball if you're another team. But yeah, they definitely with the spacing that Obi showed and displayed in this thing right here. To me, that's real. It just seems so natural. You know, the effort and the movements is what I was looking at, and I even went back and looked at one of the stations put up all Obi's highlights, and just to see not the dunks and the shooting, but the way he was moving to get open. He wasn't running to the ball. Most of the time he's running from the ball, and the ball find him. So that's encouraging, you know, going up in the training camp. So I tell you, I can't be more happy with it.
Ball scoring, alley-oops.
Yeah, backdoor. Yeah, running the floor. Yeah. And one of the best things is cutting from the weak side. There's not enough of that on the Knicks team. Historically, it's not enough. We don't get a lot of weak side baskets. Guys don't just dart in the middle from the weak side. You need to be a part of the play or you're not in it, you know. So unless it was just a ball swinging around. But for sure, one thing we know for sure is that Randle has help. Like, we brought back player who are skilled in their positions. So there's just no way now through the course of a game and through the course of the dog days of the season that we're not going to be able to sustain a winning culture and winning attitude, because we got guys that can flat out knock down a shot, and those same guys can move without the ball and get a shot. So, you know, all those hard spells that we've been going through in the past, even last year, you know, last year was a lot of rallying to come back and win. But now we should be able to just, you know, get the wire-to-wire wins that we rarely get.
Yeah, see, what I miss about the Knicks that I feel like they should have implemented when Randle got there is I think Melo was hurt. I think we end up getting, no, we didn't have Melo yet. We got Stoudemire, and I think Melo ended up getting it. Instead of painting one of them as the star, they have both of them like side by side. So I think, like, as the media, they should have kind of just put the team or the starting five or the projected starting five side by side, because Kemba might not play no games. You know what I mean? It's gonna come down to, in a room full of scorers, who's gonna like get the most shot. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Randle should play how he played last year, but Kemba Walker now is gonna have these players on his toes, and we trying to look for the more team game. Fournier got to get touches. I mean, RJ Barrett gonna get his touches. Like, everybody has to get the ball, and Kemba has to make sure that happens. It's not gonna be all about Randle no more.
Oh, well, no, I think that's for sure. But I mean, going back first with the Mari and Melo thing, I didn't think that was a bad idea coming in, because Mari was on the track in the MVP conversation, and then all of a sudden comes Melo, who you got to please, also coming in. That was supposed to be a match made in heaven. You know, they played two separate positions, but just that, you know, Melo didn't really let that work the way it was supposed to work. So that I mean, the idea was right, but definitely now Randle has to know, and maybe after what happened in the playoffs, it'll be easier for Randle to swallow, because last year was just him. RJ really wasn't even a Robin to me. RJ really was another player on the team. But now Randle really got to understand that these players are coming in here to help, not just help me, but to help us, because it's still us. And I think Randle's going to get that. But then that leads me to my next question is, are we satisfied with the team we got, or could we or should we still make a move? Even though, because some of the players can still be moved now, and some of the players, you just got to wait till that. In the regular season, it usually go like around December 10th, when first free agents could be signed or shipped. So what do you think about in that particular case? What do we do? Do we stand pat, or should we even just consider bringing in another player?
No, I'm satisfied with where we at. I feel like it's a strong team. Like, how much stronger do you think we supposed to get?
Well, see, that's my thinking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody else to go get.
Yeah. Technically, we ain't even thinking about that, but the Dame Lillard scenario is really still dangling out there. But that's really between them and Portland. Them and the Sixers. And even not to really be talking about other teams, but just to jump on that right quick. If I'm Portland, I do the deal with the Sixers. If I'm Portland. Because now for the Sixers, I don't see it working. I don't see Dame and Embiid working because Dame takes a lot of shots. And Embiid, if he don't get the ball, he starts soaking. He ain't running. He ain't playing. So, but on the other side, Portland, you get Portland Ben Simmons with McCullough, and they out west where Simmons really, the West, they run more. And that's more his game, getting up and down the court. It wasn't so much worried about him shooting. And then you surround him with the type of players. Like, I wouldn't even mind if something like that happened and if Knox had to go somewhere like that. Because Simmons will find him in transition and find him for threes. If Knox was to leave us and land somewhere, I wanted to be in his favor. So that deal to me works excellent for Portland because you still got McCullough who can light it up.
But Portland, Dame Lillard to the Knicks. My only trouble is, and CJ McCollum's a great player too, but when Dame comes out, you can leave in the perfect world you say in your head. Dame gets a break, CJ's still there, right? It doesn't really work out like that sometimes. CJ come out, Dame comes in, but when they come out, who comes in for them? That's the problem.
Well, Portland have had good players.
They have good players, but it just doesn't get them over.
Look, when you're two star, right, and that's why I say.
So now, all right. So let me say this now. With the Knicks, you could, all right. So you want Dame, cool. Everybody wants Dame, but now think about this. Kemba, great player. You know what I mean? He come out. Derrick Rose come in, great player. They come out. Our rookies come in, good players.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got depth now. It's not just Dame comes out. We only got quickly. It's not like that. We got a killer on the bench at all times.
Yeah.
So you want to give that up?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
For just one, and I always say this, if one player can't do it all these years, what makes you think he's going to do it now? Melo, perfect example. He can go to any team he want. He can have Harden. He can have Chris Paul. But it still goes that these players couldn't do it with the players they had. So if you're going to give them the same type of player, it's not going to matter.
No, I wouldn't do it either because Dame showed that him and McCullough together, as great as they are, they don't never get over the hump because the both of them take a whole lot of shots. So even when he went back to Golden State before KD, when they were still winning, their two guards took a lot of shots, but that ball still moved. Everybody else still ate. It's not like that on Portland. That's why I said the deal works for Portland because Ben will pass the ball. He'll still get his shots, can mostly be layups, but he'll move the ball, and then McCullough can still get his value shots. But them two guys together, they just shoot. They shoot just too much. I don't care how good you are, you shoot too much, and the other guys are standing around.
I want to tell these NBA teams, like, really, you just want to play people that get the job done. You know what I mean? Looking at the Lakers, Pau Gasol, Durant, they get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Like who just want to?
Well, Powell's a star. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a star, but like I said, they get the job done. You know what I mean? Shaq got the job done. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who just won? Antetokounmpo and all them, they got the job done. Like that's all it came down to.
Yeah. You got to play basketball.
Yeah,
they wasn't promised that series. But the guys stepped up when they supposed to step up, and it came down to knocking down shots, and it came down to some key stops. Yeah. So
Duncan, why he got so many rings? Why he was like one of the best big men? He got the job done.
Yeah.
That's what these players got to do.
Yeah, you got to play. To me, you got to play basketball the way the game's supposed to be played. And one man can't win. If that was the case, how we say Michael Jordan got 6, then how come he don't got 10? I mean, Dr. J, to me, one of the greatest players to ever play. He only got 1 in the NBA, and then the other two is in the ABA. So the grit, you got to have a team around you that you're willing to share the ball with.
You were missing layups in the clutch.
All right, leave Ewing alone now.
Man, listen,
leave Ewing alone now.
Somebody just brought a cab driver just brought that to my attention. I was like, damn, y'all was
Look,
going
that layup should have been a dunk, but that
you said
still,
y'all was going through it.
Nah.
Get the job done. You win.
Listen.
Get the job done and you
Listen,
win.
get the job done. That John Starks in '94, that 2 for 18, 0 for 11 in threes is what got us. Pat Riley's stubbornness, God bless him, is what got us. Because if he would have just put Rolando Blackman in just for the last 5 minutes, a guy that been there before, all we needed was one clutch shot, one, and John was just shooting. Now we love John Starks, but he shot us out of that tournament, even though he helped us get there.
More of the story, get the job done. That's it.
That reminds me too. I saw an article the other day where it had I don't know, it could have been the best top 25 players, whatever it was, but the 125 players, there was 6 Knicks on that roster, but not RJ. So RJ is definitely losing his luster around the league. Because remember, he didn't make the rookie team last year, so they don't feel he's well, to me he should have. And then you don't make a team that IQ in them made, and I don't know if they did it by positions or they did it but 6 Knicks were on it, and and RJ wasn't. So he got a whole lot that he playing for. He's not just playing for a contract no more. He almost playing for his livelihood.
In all those positions, we got to probably deep dive and look at the stats on RJ, because for the amount of good or impact he do have on the Knicks, it could have been better.
But that's the key. But that's the key. It could have been better. You say look at the stats, but the most important thing is the impact. Yeah. Because anybody can put up numbers. Your impact on the game. A lot of RJ's stuff comes at the end of the game where you can say that, okay, that's clutch. It could be looked at as clutch. But it also could be looked at as that even to get into those scenarios, I think we talked about that the last week or last 2 weeks, the timely shooting throughout the course of the game is where RJ is losing the respect of the other people.
Yeah, I can tell how the game is going when I hear you say, come on, RJ. Oh, we need that one.
Open shot.
It's a lot of that.
All I want to
finally makes one, it's never like get up like a Mitchell Robinson when he gets that alley or quickly puts up that timely three. It's not like that.
It's like about time.
Yeah.
But if he can give us that,
one.
Yeah, and RJ's an athlete. RJ's a horse, and if he can get that timely shooting down, he don't gotta be no great shooter. Just knock down the timely ones that come your way. And the Knicks will be great. So even with that, let's take a look at our roster again right quick, as it stands right now. So we talked about our starters, which were projected to be Kemba, RJ, Fournier, Randle, and Robinson, right? And then you say Rose, IQ, Burks, Obi, and Noel. And then you got, now we still have on our roster Gibson, Knox, and Bedoza. And then we signed Wayne Bacon. Bedoza, we don't know what's going to happen to.
I think we signed a couple more.
Yeah, well, the other ones, we got Grimes, McBride, Jericho Sims, who I'm glad we're going to look at. He gets the 2-way contract, so he'll spend his time up and back, and then depending on injury. And then Amir Sims, him and MJ Walker. I don't remember what MJ Walker did in Summer League. They got the Exhibit 10 contracts. So you can carry 15 on the roster, but then you still have your 2-way guys. So they got as a whole, and you shouldn't have to have that many guys to be a good team. The best teams don't got that many guys. Well, but everybody we got is valuable. Yeah,
well, so what's good right now, what I'm seeing is that competition is back. Now you got to play because these dudes want to play. Jericho wants to play. So everybody has to be thinking in the back of their head like, Mitch can't get hurt. He get hurt. Sims is already a fan favorite, and he might not even get to the bench. Right? IQ or any of these players, RJ get hurt. McBride and all them, Grimes are fan favorites already.
And you got to, and also too, we got to keep in mind that this stuff with Mitch, they still circulating that stuff out there with Miles Turner out of Indiana. It's just for some reason it just won't go away. But now this is something that I keep thinking about. They billing Kemba and Fournier. They keep getting billed as the Knicks backcourt. even though last year our 2 and our 3 was basically the same position. They was basically the same position, you know. But they billing it as and Fournier to me is a 3 because of his skill set. He's a 3 man.
Well, I see why they.
Because were they Boston's backcourt?
Well, positionless basketball. I don't even think they really know who.
Because Tatum. I mean, they had Tatum, right? Tatum didn't play the 4, right? And then they had what's the other kid? The other All-Star they had that they got. But that's how, they're building it as the backcourt. And I don't even want to see, even though Fournier can shoot, and you can do that when you want to go big, you know. But to me, he's a 3 because he got so many skills. A 3 should have the skills of a 2-man and also some of the skills of a 4-man in terms of stretching. So he's more in that category. He's not a 4, but I mean, if you had to go small, he could shoot and pull somebody out. If you had to go real small, you know. So let's take a look at we was talking about this.
I mean, the front court, they really only say, what's that? You said Mitch. Are they gonna? Yeah, so they're gonna put Randle at the 4, right?
Yeah, Randle starts at the 4.
So I guess so. That's
right. Yeah. I mean, then, but we got enough big guys when you count Jericho.
When you say backcourt, I guess that's right.
When they count backcourt,
he don't play like a big guy. He played more.
He played more like a guard. Yeah. No, I was just saying because in our log jam, the 2 is where our log jam, and then you figure you bring in a guy like Bacon. Like nobody can get hurt between our 2 and our 3s. Any one of our 2, a one could get hurt and come back and get a spot. Anybody at the 2 or the 3 get hurt and somebody fill in, you can lose your spot. Because that's how many people we got that are capable of putting that ball in the basket. And that's all they got to do. When that ball flows your way, because it's going to be in Randall's hand, regardless. You know, even if we don't want it in his hand that much, it's going to be in his hand. When that ball flow your way, you got to be able to make plays for yourself and others. And there's guys that can do that. So the only thing about Bacon is that he's a streaky, even though he's not high on the radar. And then you got Grimes. you got Grimes. So it's going to be tight back there, but they're going to make for a good battle. And if the goal is to win, everybody pat each other on the back, and then, let's go. So let's look at our schedule for a little bit. First game, we got Boston, at home, October the 20th. And then, Kimber and Fournier, they get to go. And I don't think it wasn't a bitter way they left. So it's not a revenge game, but it's always a way to go back and show the fans what you're missing, So I don't know who didn't get paid or who, I was watching the press conference, and the media, they try to make it seem like to Walker that the team didn't believe in him. And he goes, no, Boston believed in me, but the Knicks believed in me more. I guess the more money you pay, the more you believe in somebody. So they're trying to create that friction. That's still the New York media do.
Yeah, New York media, but I still don't like Boston.
Oh, no, we ain't never going to like Boston.
I love Paul Pierce, but I can't stand Boston.
I ain't even drinking. Just not for Paul Pierce.
Nah, you got to like Paul Pierce. Garnett got on my nerves.
No.
I respect him now that they out, but Paul Pierce, I like him kind of play. Paul Pierce, I like him, my bad.
No, I don't like Paul Pierce. No.
You don't like Paul Pierce?
No. So Christmas Day, okay, that's the revenge game against the Hawks. And then two, I'm tired of everybody really talking about the Hawks, even though they're the ones that knocked us out. We just got to think bigger than the Hawks. We just can't let the Hawks be our barometer no more. We got to think way bigger than that. But it's just the fact that I would like to see on a Christmas Day for once that we're not just playing at 12 o'clock, that we playing one of them prime time games, through the course of the day. Because now when Christmas is, in the morning, you watch that game at 12, but through the day when everybody really gathered around the TV, I want to be in one of them Christmas Day games. Yeah. Not just that morning one that's an afterthought, the first one.
Sometimes it set the tone.
Yeah, I want to set the tone. I want to be, even if we're not the last game, but somewhere in that middle, that 5 o'clock, when people really start gathering for Christmas, you want to be in that game. And that's how it used to be like, back in the day too. But on November 23rd, the Lakers come to town. So we get to see Melo in that Laker uniform, So that's going to be.
And my heart going to hurt because, I want to beat them in the regular season, but depending on how the finals and the playoffs looking.
Nah, if we don't win,
if we get knocked out, I'm a Lakers.
If we don't win, I'm rooting for the Lakers. I'm rooting for Melo. So I don't care what happened if we don't win, even if it had to be us and the Lakers, I'm rooting for Melo to be there, and of course, if we ain't in it, if we don't win it, I want the Lakers to win it.
No, we in
Not
the
for
finals.
LeBron, but for Melo. That's different. If we in the finals.
We in the finals. I'm gonna be conflicted. Like,
I ain't gonna be
I might
conflicted.
shed a tear, but if Melo took it, I would be like,
I ain't shedding no tear. We in the finals. We gotta try. We gotta win it, and then just hope that Melo plays well. And
y'all probably laughing. Y'all talking about Knicks finals. It's a possibility.
Anything is possible. Look, they didn't pick Milwaukee to be there last year. When Toronto was there, they wasn't picked. The only team that got there that was picked when the Lakers won in the bubble in the last few years. The teams that are winning are not the teams that are picked to be there. So it's the players. Nobody don't know what's in the players' heart. It's the players, it's injuries, it's all that coming together. So, again, they picking the Nets and the Lakers to be there this year. The Nets are the favorite. Fine, rightfully so, okay. But a whole lot go into winning. So, hey, why not? Why not us? And I'm going to do the same thing. I don't know about y'all. I'm doing the same thing from the beginning of the season again. I'm start watching because I'm not saying where we're going to end up, but I just want to be in that 6th seed. And that's all I wanted to be in last year. At least be in the 6 and avoid the play-in. So I'm staying on that same track, but we have good enough shooting that we can be able to be the sky's the limit for us. You know, that's what we got. There was something else too. They showed the top scoring, top scoring active players in the league, and then Melo's number 2, and he needs like 2,500 or something like that to move up at least to 30,000 points. So that's good to see too, for Melo. But as far as the Knicks, it's going to be another good season. We got time, still got preseason, and still moves that could be made. Definitely around the league, moves are going to be made. But, everybody just sit tight and hold on and just keep the faith in the Knicks. But right now, we need everybody to hit that like button.
Subscribe.
Show us some support. Last Saturday, we did a YouTube live. That went off pretty well. We have another one coming soon. And everybody, peace.